Good morning, Lebanon and beyond. Thank you very much, Lebanon Talks, for giving me the opportunity to be on this panel. As Makram said, I am a child of the diaspora. I left at a very young age during the Civil War, very reluctantly. But I've always been engaged with Lebanon, and I think this is what shows that no matter where you are, you can always contribute. Now, the way I felt I could contribute is in the most important way is in education, because the most valuable aspect of any nation is its human capital, and education, it's its cornerstone. And Lebanon's strongest asset is its education, and not only education, the strongest asset, it's its human capital. And this is something that the diaspora has never forgotten, never lost sight of. And wherever you go in the world, the Lebanese communities will always stress upon education within and without Lebanon. My role started with the British Lebanese Association and the Center for Lebanese Studies. These are the oldest and more established association in Britain. And also at the cornerstone of both those associations is education. The Center for Lebanese Studies is an academic institution that was based in Oxford, and it sponsored fellows, and it was a hub for the Lebanese scholars during the war and beyond. The British Lebanese Association, well, basically, we really focused on scholarship, and it has proven to be extremely successful. We were very focused on what we wanted. Our aim was to help Lebanon in fields that we believed were important for Lebanon, and that was in education, it was in health, especially mental health, it was in the environment, social protection, sustainability. The second is that we gave scholarships that were fully funded. And that is because we believed in equal opportunities. We wanted every Lebanese students, whether they were from state schools or not, but especially from state schools, to have the opportunity to study abroad and come back to Lebanon and help its country. There are other models. The second model is LIFE, the Lebanese International Executives, Lebanese International Financial Executives. And they are an extremely dynamic, successful group of people who have been helping Lebanon now for over 12 years. And again, at the core of their program is education. Basically, they specialize more on the financial side and are very strong in mentoring and in job placement. But how did we evolve? I mean, we've got a terrible we are in a very distressing situation in Lebanon. Our political, economic, financial sectors are in complete distress. And we have been able to adapt. And the way we have adapted, for example, the Center for Lebanese Studies now has all their offices in Lebanon. We are on the ground. We are working on influencing policy. The scholarships, we now also give scholarships and bursaries in Lebanon. Bursaries are important because we do not want our researchers to leave the country as well, so we're trying to help them. But we do believe in keeping a foot in outside in the diaspora. I'll give you one example. I think that example is going to really inspire you. This example is a young woman who comes from Tyre, state educated, never been to Beirut or to university before she went at the age of 18 through scholarship. And the BLA gave her a scholarship in applied neuropsychology. She excelled, and now she is doing her doctorate in clinical psychology. And we hope, and she hopes, that she will be the first female licensed neuropsychologist in Lebanon. So that really shows how much scholarships help and where we can help Lebanon. But there is also, both are complementary. I would like to also talk about, LIFE actually has also changed its strategy completely. Very inspiring. They now are giving scholarships in Lebanon. 80% of our scholarships, Lebanon is going to help universities, it's going to help teachers. and they're very strong in mentoring, and very novel is that they will be outsourcing talent. So the West and the diaspora will outsource talent from Lebanon. A third, much younger, that is just about to start, is Impact Lebanon. They're starting their scholarships. And they're also very complementary to the two models I spoke about. They are actually giving 100% of the student scholarships to Lebanon. They will be giving to the top universities, but also to the Lebanese university, which is important because, again, it serves and helps people with lower means, and it helps in accommodation, it helps in transport, stipends to eat. So we are very focused, we're agile, we really want to help the Lebanese and to keep the human capital alive. And that is fundamental to any change, to any political change. So I have spent recently a lot of time in Lebanon, and whenever I look at what's happening, and I say, how are we going to get out of this misery? And I'm feeling very down. I remember the faces, I remember the words, I remember the essays of our scholars. And you know what? I feel very hopeful. I feel hopeful for Lebanon because our human capital is there. And if I want to leave with the parting words, there are two. Never lose hope for Lebanon. And the second, as I am also part of the steering committee with Rindala and Firas of Nahwa al-Watan, go and vote. We need to change the political face of the parliament, of the political system. And we, the diaspora, can really, really help.